This is factually incorrect.
It's factually, objectively true. People die from obesity. What do you mean it's factually incorrect? Obesity is not a joke. People die from it. Yeah, that's a fat kills. What? I don't understand. Being obese will kill you.
Fat doesn't kill people. Sure.
It can if you fall on somebody, though. I'll tell you that. Bro, you know it.
You could find lots of medical articles that will link premature death to fat-related complications.
Yes. Okay.
However, when you start looking into the research behind these things, you find out that fat is correlated with a lot of other health issues.
Yeah, like eating bad foods so that you become fat. Is that the argument? Like, let's be honest. Okay, fat doesn't necessarily kill you, right? But in order to become fat, it's like impossible to become fat off of healthy foods. Like, I'm sure it's possible, but the thing is that healthier foods are more micronutrient dense and they fill you up much more quickly, right? And so, like, if you become overweight, it's almost always going to be because you're eating bad foods that are not filling because they're not micronutrient dense. You're probably eating fast food and like just very fatty, shitty foods. And I know that fatty foods aren't necessarily unhealthy, but like I'm talking about like your meatloafs, your hot dogs, your hamburgers. You're just consuming bad foods fundamentally. Simpler carbs, yeah, absolutely. Sweeter treats. Bread in America, just in general, is sweeter than other countries. That's why we have such a terrible epidemic of obesity out here. So like, yeah, we understand that like, if we sat down, we could talk about how the things that are associated with being fat, like eating like dog shit, yes, that's really what kills you. But also being fat in general also does stress out your body. It stresses out your heart. It does do these things. But like, there's no reason to go off on this fucking tangent about the specifics of it, because the way to not be fat is to eat healthier and to exercise, like walk. It leads to a lot of health issues. And some of those health issues are even like issues of having children, like the ability for women to have children, the potency of a man's sperm. There's a lot of shit going on here. There's so much. I don't understand it. Like now this is like, it's always bad optics to me when it's a fat person that's like, well, technically it's not the fat. It's like, well, come on. Just come on.
Things like stress and childhood trauma, which it turns out have much more of an impact on your overall health and well-being than the fat content of your body.
Yeah, because a lot of people stress eat, which causes you to be fat. I don't. Oh, yeah, you know. Couple that in with the high availability of like fast foods, the fact that it's not regulated well enough, in my opinion, by the FDA, the fact that we should have some kind of like a fast food tax implemented or some kind of incentive for people to eat at home. Also, that our culture has drastically shifted away from cooking and preparing your own foods towards like just eating out. There's a lot here.
So before you go around spreading misinformation, maybe you should do the research first.
Maybe it's your responsibility as an individual to deal with your own traumas. And you have to understand that like everybody has unhealthy habits, or most people have unhealthy habits. Yours happens to be overeating. Mine happens to be overeating. I stress eat. It doesn't mean that it's good. I'm trying to work on it. It can be difficult. I could think, oh yeah, it can be tough to eat the right way, right? But like, it's my fault. You know, you have to deal with your own shit in your own way. And when you say it's a trauma's fault for eating so much, you're really just going to never lose weight, because you're always going to say it's the responsibility or it's the blame of something that I can't control. And if you give away that mental control to something else, then you're not going to think that you have control over your own issue. It's interesting that they apparently exercise so much, but like they're still overweight. It's impossible for that to happen. It really, quite literally, it's not impossible, but that means that if you're doing a lot of exercise, that means that you're compensating for the calories burned by eating even more. And that's another bad thing. Like some people who are overweight that like work out, they'll be like, I'm going to eat more because I worked out. I deserve it, right? I ran for 20 minutes, so now I can go and I can have a piece of cake. It actually does happen. It's a very toxic, like exercise reward type of a scenario that can be very, very, very toxic for people. Hey everyone, if you liked that video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to follow my Twitch, Instagram, Twitter, Discord, and TikTok. All links are in the description. Also, check out my Patreon if you'd like to support me even more than you already do. Thank you so much, everyone. I love you all.